Alright, today's project is taking a cutoff wheel and cutting right at about the end of the bend to make this a short straight handle, because I tried it on the 366 as is and there's no way this will work with the bend. So it's either straight or nothing, and since this has been sitting around for years in a box, we're going to sacrifice it. That's all for now. Alright, this is the plan. Cut off wheel, blue tape, cut it right here. Hopefully not mess it up too bad. We'll see how this cuts. And I'm not doing this on camera. I will say that went much better than expected. That was like 30-45 seconds, maybe a little more. I was in no hurry. And there's my leftover piece. So I don't know how straight a cut that was. Not bad. We'll take to the grinder. Alright, I have wanted to use this and haven't found a reason yet. And this is for bolts that are stripped. I found this online. eBay kind of special, so I don't know if this will work. I'm thinking maybe to try and start the thread process for the die. Okay, so it definitely put a little, it did something, because you can see, I can't tell if it stripped that or what. This might be from China! So, I don't know if that's a fail or not, but I'll take the tape off and then we'll go through the next steps. So this will be boring repetitiveness, because I did this a couple of years ago, also on a inline fab handle, and that worked out pretty good. This is my line that I will need to get my die down to cutting my threads based on the size of the previous handle. And because I don't have anything large enough for this die, I will do what I did last time, and that was wrench it. Alright, that looks maybe not level. Let me get a level. Yeah, I didn't think that was level. I don't think it makes a difference on which side you start this on. I'm hearing a shit ton of honking, so I don't know if there's protests going on somewhere. Wouldn't be surprised. And if anybody knows how to do this better, I think part of the problem is this powder coating on here. I was debating stripping that off, and I thought, that's a shit ton of work. And is it really going to get me anything? So I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a clean, level start here. That doesn't look too bad. Level-ish, depending on what angle you look at. Alright, so me thinks that's good enough to at least start the process. Motherfudger. Motherfudger. That's why you want to have the right tools. I wonder if it's worth doing a little filing because of that coating. Probably do the rest with the grinder. I just remember last time cutting through all that was not the most wonderful of memories. Let's see if we can get a little better start this time around. Alright. I'm gonna double check, see if I was even recording. Oh, this is fucking no fun. Maybe the last time it was because it was higher up and I'm having to bend down like an old man. Like the old man I am. Nope. I just do not like how I can't get a start. I don't even like that. No. Let me put some gloves on and see if I can muscule it. So obviously this is the suckiest part. The rest of it is just a twist. Break time. Okay, I am not gonna lie. That kicked my ass. And it kicked my bench's ass. And it took a long ass time, and there were some casualties along the way and shit, and bent shit and smashed shit and you name it, hammer, oil, holy fajita. So I started in my bench with the China grips, and you can see it just couldn't get a grip. Oh, in so many ways I couldn't get a grip today. So I had to actually swap the bench vise heads out, getting all kind of oil, to the rough edge instead of the smooth edge, and I've never had it on the rough edge, and it just tore up the black coating that was on this handle. So I figured, F it. So I stripped all the black off down to bare metal, sanded it. There's my 5/8. I think it's 5/8 cut, whatever it is. So I've got it measured. So, and I tested it. Fits the bench fine. So what I'm now gonna do is prime this and shoot it with truck bed so that I've got a nice handle. So that'll be the next step. But that kicked my ass. The threads came out pretty good. I don't know if you can see it. Kicked my ass. This was hard steel. All right, there is the handle, primed and painted and looking better. Reloading bench back with you again, and now we have what I'm going to call the shorty handle. It's significantly smaller. I'd say, I think when I did my measurements, it is about 6 inches smaller than the standard Hornady handle. And if I can navigate around the tripod, because naturally it's right in the way, so maybe I'll try and do this, and I'll do it right-handed, but I'm going to step in front of the camera, so it might be a little in the way. And I noticed, well, I'll start with my left hand, because what I noticed is there are 3 distinct degrees of motion with this thing. The first is right there. There's an actual, you can hear the audible and you can feel it, and that is I don't know what causes that. I don't know if that's the linkage down here, but it's right where the wad or shuttle, it's right in this area. I mean, there's nothing binding, but that's a distinct first pull. And let me lower this a little bit. The second one is right there, and I'm hitting the camera. Let me lower this yet again. And the third one is right here. I'll do it twice. When you, and naturally, because I'm not indexing the system fully, the third one is the primer. When you actually, I guess you'd call that over travel on other presses. So that is what that third motion looks like, and it's about 1 inch, maybe 2 inches. So again, what it looks like, and I'll step back and move the camera. So what it looks like in its entirety So you have no change here in terms of the pull or the length, because there's no bend in this like there is with the Ergo handle for the lock and load. So this is at the same angle as what the original would be, again, albeit at significantly shorter, which is then again that much more comfortable, because when you're actually pulling this. And because this is now at, I'm going to try and stand in front of it, so let's see how much I block. All right, so now with my right hand, so again, the other handle was way up here into the hopper space, which you can't see my hand. And I'll adjust this a little bit. Again, this is at chest height, so my arm is level. It's kind of like I'm throwing a karate punch straight out. It's just straight back, so straight, or actually down. So it's a very smooth, and again, you can feel 1, 2, 3. You can feel all 3 of these motions, and I don't know this press, so hopefully those are the correct motions that these presses are supposed to be doing. I mean, everything functions, so I would imagine 1, 2, 3. That's how it goes. But making this handle was an MFer. Yes, it was. In fact, I had this in the vise. This is some hard steel. Whatever Dan uses, this is some hard steel. Because to thread that took about 2 hours of my time. To get it on straight took about a half hour. You'll see some of the video where I just had to cut away because I just couldn't get it started. And what I ended up doing was taking my grinder and creating what I tried to do with that little drill tool, little thing that creates a new head on threads, is try and bevel the edge. And I had to really bevel that on the grinder in order to get the die to be able to seat straight enough to do this. And then once I did that, the steel is so hard that cutting into it, this would twist, and I had cranked, I was using a rubber mallet to tighten my vise down so much that it just destroyed the powder coating to the degree that, all right, it's time to strip it all off. So I stripped it all off down to bare metal, and then primed and did my favorite go-to, truck bed. So this came out great. I love the shorty factor because length of pull and height, you know, don't have a lot for the arm, not working the shoulder. It's hopefully you're seeing this. Came out really nice. And then I'll show you the last update that I think I might have made a video on, but I didn't stitch it in, so let me do that.